Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we're doing a shooting tutorial, and if you learn this type of technique correctly, it might help you score a lot more goals from outside the box. So let's have a look at the technique, which is a low driven shot. So here are a few in-game examples. So there are two elements to the shot that makes it very difficult for the goalkeepers to save. First one being keeping it low. Goalkeepers find it a lot more difficult adjusting their body and dropping to the ground to save a shot, rather than one that's coming at them and they're already poised and positioned, ready to make a save just above their head. So if you're shooting from long range, sometimes it's a lot better to shoot low, because the goalkeeper has to put in a lot more work to get to that shot. And the second reason it's so difficult for the goalie to save is because when you add that little bit of top spin, it can either bounce under the goalie's hands, bounce over the keeper's hands. It's just very difficult for the goalie to save. So I'm going to walk through a step-by-step tutorial of how you can achieve this shot. So let's get right into it. So the first step is how you set up the ball. So I'm obviously right-footed, so this applies to right-footed players, but you can just mirror this exact technique if you are left-footed. Shift it slightly to the right-hand side. And what this does is it causes the goalkeeper to move. So the goalkeeper is always on his toes, trying to get in line with that shot. So if you shift it to the right-hand side, he starts to shift towards the left-hand side of his net. And if you get that shot off quick enough, his momentum is going towards the left-hand side. So when you're shooting across the goalie into that far corner, his momentum's already leaning one way, so it's a lot more difficult for him to recover and get back to that right-hand side. The next step is our planting foot, and as I always say with kicking techniques, the planting foot is what determines where the ball goes. So this is a bit more difficult than just coming onto a shot straight on. We're obviously having to adjust our body to go the opposite way. So as we approach the ball, we're going to have to open up our foot so that we're pointing it towards that far corner, having about 6 inches away from the ball. Ankle's pretty much going through the center of the ball here, and we're pointing it exactly at that bottom left corner. The next step is we want to have a slight bend in our kicking foot. That's just going to allow us to balance. Obviously standing on one leg does require a lot of balance, so a slight bend in the knee makes that balance even more sturdy, and you're going to get more accuracy in the shot. So the next step, as we are rotating our body quite heavily, it's going to be hard to balance, so we need to extend our arm out as much as possible. And as that arm's extending, my right arm usually points towards the ground almost. So the next step is our backswing. This is where a lot of the power is going to come from. Follow through is very important, but if you build momentum from the backswing, you're going to enhance the power of the shot even more. So you want to get maximum backswing, almost like I could do a quadricep stretch. That's how far you want your leg flexed. Next up is the kicking area on the foot. So we're going with our laces. You can go slightly off center of the laces on this sweet spot here, but you really want to hit that laces area because you want the ball to come off the foot straight. You're not looking to put any spin, like any curling effect or anything like that. You really want it coming off the foot straight and with top spin. So the part of the ball we're going to hit is right through the center. So we're hitting through the center of that ball, and we're almost going to lift our foot over the ball as we're striking it. That's just going to give it a bit of top spin so that when it hits the ground, it's going to pick up pace, spin off the ground into the net. Another point is, as I'm making contact with that ball, you really want to snap that chest forward. That's going to keep the ball nice and low. If you lean back, you're just going to get underneath that ball and basically chip it with loads of backspin over the bar, and that's not what you're looking for at all. So if you snap that chest forward, you're going to allow your foot to get over that ball. So you're not going to get underneath it, you're going to get over that ball, and it's going to keep it nice and low. So the next step is your follow through, and this is where I see a lot of players going wrong. When they strike a ball, they're trying to put so much power into it that their follow through is just going off to the side. And that either usually adds a bit of swaz, a bit of outside spin, which is not what we're looking for in this technique, or you just cut it and you end up getting too much spin and it just kind of spews off wide. So your follow through, after you've struck the ball, initially you're following through towards your target. So as soon as you've made contact with the ball, your foot should go towards your target, and then once you follow through, then you allow your foot to come across your body. Your body's natural tendency, once you've struck a ball, because of your hips rotating, your body's natural tendencies want it to come across the body nice and early, but you've really got to fight your body's instincts in this situation. So you're going to fight against it and follow through towards your target. And then once you've released the ball, then you can allow your body to take its natural course. And the final step to adding even more power to your shot is after you've struck the ball, you want to come off of your standing foot and land back on your kicking foot. And you shouldn't have to think about this too much. If you're adding enough power to the shot, you'll naturally want to do that anyway. So if you're not naturally doing that, maybe you're not adding as much backswing as you need, or you're not following through as strong as you need. So make sure you're always coming off your standing foot and landing back on your kicking foot. So that's the tutorial. I'm just going to show you a few more examples now. Alright guys, so that's the low driven shot tutorial. Now I must admit, these aren't going to get you goal of the season. These don't look half as pretty as banging one top bins from 40 yards out. But these are a very consistent way to challenge the goalkeeper. And at the end of the day, pretty goals don't win games, goals win games. So make sure you work on this technique, and hopefully you take some of these tips and bang in a few more goals from outside the box this season. If you did enjoy this video, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for weekly training videos. And as always, I will see you in the next video.